Hi, just getting started. Give it a minute to let people join and for Bill to give me a thumbs up. Hi, it is, wow, it's the end of July. It is the 28th already. So hard to believe. Hi, Debbie. Thanks for joining. Tonight I'm going to be working with the stamp set called Delivering Cheer. And so we're going to make 2 cards with this. And I've kept it with a Christmas theme and a fall theme. So I hope you like the cards we're going to make tonight. The first one is actually a standing card. So it will stand up when you send it, but it folds into the standard card size so it can go in an envelope. And it has paper on the back to write a message. So let's go ahead and get started with this one. Let me move some things around here. And then also tomorrow, if you signed up for my newsletter. Hi Sharon, good evening. Your tutorial will be linked in the newsletter to go with these cards too. So if you don't catch something tonight, you can see that tomorrow. So the first thing we're going to do is start with a standard card base. Our card base is 8.5 by 5.5. And we're going to bring out the scoreboard here. And we're going to mark this. We're going to score it 4 times. So our first score is going to be 1 7/8, then 3 inches, then 5.5 inches. So I can do the smaller side here. And then 6 5/8 of an inch. So those are our score marks. Let me go ahead and put this back. How's everybody doing this evening? Hey, Deborah. So the way we're going to do this is for the folds in the center, they're going to fold back behind the center of the card, and the other ones are going to fold out. So I'm just going to turn it this way and burnish this side in, and then I'm going to take the next one and burnish that back. So you get that little Z on both sides. So again, I'm going to take this side, I'm going to fold it in, and then I'm going to take it and fold it backwards. Hopefully that makes sense. So when you look at it, you have the 2 little Z's on each side, okay? And it'll be a standing card. All right, I'm going to press it down a little here. I was so organized, and now I've de-organized myself. So this is my little kit of papers. We are going to start with the one that we're going to put on the very back first. So this one is cut 5 1/4 by 2 1/4. This is where you can write, you can stamp a sentiment on the back if you want. I've done it on the front. You can write your message to the recipient of the card, but it gives you that nice area in the very center on the back to do that. Okay, so now let's work on the front of our card. Pretty simple card. The first thing I'm going to do is I cut 2 pieces of DSP, and my DSP that we're working with tonight on both cards is from the Tidings of Christmas in the annual catalog. It's a 6 by 6. There's 5 different designs and 8 of each. And so this is the one that I'm working with on this card. So it's the double-sided. Okay. So these are 1 5/8 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to put one on each side. And they're going to go on our outer flaps. Got some wiggle room there, so now let's do this one. All right, there we go. So there's that so far. Now for the next piece, I'm going to set this one aside. I like to finish my full front of the card and layer it before I attach it. So I'm going to pull this one in first. This is the one for a sentiment. It is the top layer and it is 2 by 5. And I stamped the lady on here and I did her with the Christmas tree. So we're gonna bring in some blends and we're going to color her, and then I'm going to show you how I stamp that. So for the tree, I'm using some soft succulent, and I mean, it's right, it's just like a tree that she's carrying. So I just sort of scribble some in there, and then I'm gonna bring in my evening evergreen. I was looking for my light and dark. Here's my dark, here's my light of evening evergreen. And then I'm gonna bring that soft succulent back in and just sort of go back over that. Like I said, it doesn't have to be anything fancy and staying in the lines, just sort of give it that watercolor look. And then for her dress, I really wanted that to stand out from the other greens. So I'm bringing in mint macaron. I love to say it that way. I know, silly, but true. So I'm going to start with the dark on the small side, and I'm just going to sort of fill in where the lines are. I think those lines give you a natural place for the darker. Fill in here behind. Get her sleeves a little bit in here. Get a little line along the bottom. And then just bring in the light. Again, you know, I don't think when somebody receives your card, I think they're so thrilled to get them and just enjoy the card, knowing that you made it. I don't think they're nitpicking how well you color or paint. And I think sometimes, you know, it's just so it looks cute. All right, so that's colored. I want to go back over, I like to go back over some with the dark. Elbows. One last little blend. I think everybody has their own way of coloring, and so you do you. Now for her shoes and her gloves, I decided to bring in Cherry Cobbler. It's one of my favorite reds in the Stampin' Up line. I don't do a lot of blending with Cherry Cobbler on small spots because you really can't tell that you've done that. Whoop, went out of the lines a little, and I'm going to hit her shoes. What woman doesn't love red shoes, right? And then I'm going to bring in a Cherry Cobbler here just to hit a Cherry Cobbler. I'm sorry, crumb cake. To hit the trunk of the tree. Look, I think that looks pretty good. Doesn't take very long. So then I'm going to mount this on top of this 2 1/4 by 5 1/4 Sahara sand. There we go. Oop, I had a little bit of ink on my fingers. And then I am just going to glue that down to the front of my card. All right. Now, to decorate this, I've brought in these new matte decorative dots. I love these. Oh, and I don't think I said in the very beginning, this is a set that's in the new holiday catalog that is available early next week. So, oh, this is the January one. What am I talking about? It's the holiday one. I think I left it upstairs because I had to place another order last night. But it's the holiday mini catalog that will be out early next week. Let's get these little gems on here. I love the matte finished. I don't know why. I sort of like it better than the sparkly ones. All right. Isn't that adorable? There we go. That'd be cute for Christmas for a stand-up card to send to somebody. Now, I want to show you how I stamped this person before we move on to the next one. So let me just grab a piece of paper, my stamping. These are photopolymer stamps, so I'm bringing in my piercing mat so that I have something to cushion it when I stamp. And oh, inside my case, I have my masks because I can keep reusing them. These are just pieces of Post-it note that I have. Thanks, Deborah. So I'm going to stamp the top first. So I am going to bring in some Memento ink. And I'm going to stamp that. Now, you can tell that I've already stamped it on this Post-it note. And then what I did was I trimmed down around the edge. Because to make it look so you don't have a big gap here, I'm going to take this Post-it note and put it over. I don't have to trim the rest of it because I'm only stamping here. And then I would stamp her skirt, and I would come in here because I want her skirt to start right under her arms, but I didn't want it to go over the trunk of the tree since that would be in front of her skirt. So I just line that up. And there you go, and you take that off, and voila, the tree is in front of her skirt. So, and then I just hold on to these because I know I'll be making more of these cards. So I already have that mask made. There was a set in the catalog that was a hostess gift several years back that was the same type of design with the lower half of the body and then stuff to carry it. It was one of my favorite sets, so I was so glad when they brought this back. All right, let's take a look at the other card we're doing tonight. This one is more, I think, of the fall one. And this time she's in, to me, a fall jacket with some boots for all the rain or snow, carrying some fall foliage. So this is the one we're going to do now. All right. So this case, we are starting with a Sahara sand base cut 4 1/4 by 11, scored at that 5 1/2. And then let's go ahead and build some of that top layer. My first one is a 4 by 5 1/4 of Mango Melody. I think that's such a pretty color. And then I'm going to put a piece of DSP on top of that. Again, this is still out of that Tidings of Christmas. I just think it has such pretty colors in it. So this is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. I want this one, when I put this down, it's going to go top to bottom with just the edge of that mango sticking out on the left and right sides. So we'll get this layered on here. Okay, whoop. I love that my glue gives me a chance to wiggle those. All right. So then we're going to build this banner. And how we're going to build the banner is I cut a piece of the DSP, this green, and this is cut the 2 by 3 1/2 on my little sticky notes over here. And then the first thing I want to do is to cut that banner in the bottom. Now, if you have a punch to create banners, you can do that. I'm simply going to eyeball it, cut up the middle, and then go from both sides up to that corner. And then I'll go from this side. And there we go. So there's my first banner. And now I'm going to do the next one. And I'm going to put the Sahara Sand side up. This one is cut 1 5/8 by 3. I'm going to do the same thing. This paper, excuse me, I don't know how well it's going to show up, but this reminds me of the Sea Pod stamps we used a couple months ago to do some cards. It would look great with that stamp set also. So just cut another banner in here. All right, now I am just gluing these two together. I want to line up the center of the banner there. All right. And then I'm going to adhere this straight down. Little offset. And now I'll put this onto my background. I can't believe that it's already the end of July and we're making Christmas cards and fall cards. That'll be here before we know it. Which when I'm done here, I want to tell you about my fall class. So hopefully you'll stick around. So my next layers, I have the piece that I did the stamping on. And you can either die cut this with the stitched rectangles. I used this die, the tall and skinniest, the biggest of the tall and skinny, I would call those. Or you can just cut it out at 1 5/8 by 3 5/8. And then for this one, when I colored it, I used Mango Melody and Pumpkin Pie. I think the Mango Melodies have been retired, but I still have mine and do use them. And then also I used some crumb cake to color in the part of the foliage. So let's go ahead and just do this. Again, I don't get crazy about it. It's just to give it that look of fall. Dark down in here. I usually start with light and then go to dark depending on what I'm doing. And then for her coat, these two. I am going to start with the dark again here so I can just, again, using the stamp design to hit those dark areas. The lines are already there for us. I like how these blend and then they coordinate with the paper, so that's so nice. All right. Now her gloves, I did in Pumpkin Pie to make them stand up a little bit more. Let's find that darker one for her gloves. The skinny side. Get them a little darker. Okay. Now for her scarf, it just sticks out here a little bit on the bottom. I am going to just bring in some brown for that so that it looks a little different. But now for the fun part on this one. For this wrapping that is around the foliage, I could have colored it in, but I wanted to do something different. So I wanted to paper piece it in to give it more color. Hey, Linda. Give her red muck boots. That would be cute, but it would be hard to do over top of the black stamp. However, in this set, there are these little stamps for like leggings. I almost thought of stamping those in pumpkin and putting them on there. So back to paper piecing. So I stamped the top on here, and then I'm going to come in and on these lines around where that paper wrapping is, I'm just going to trim that out. Here we go. Around here. Fussy cutting is not my best thing. Trim this off. Let's see. There we go. Now, for some of this, the foliage is on here. Of course, I'm going to leave that and I'll touch it with the brown marker. But so I'm just going to grab a tab of glue here. And then we're just going to piece that right in there. There we go. So it gives it a little more texture than what I would get if I was just coloring it with a marker. Now though, down here, there's a little tiny spot on the bottom that goes with that. But for that, I can use the matching marker and just put that green down there. And then, like I said, on the paper here where that foliage, I can just put a little bit of the brown so that pops that out. Let's see, I'm just going to bring the mango up here. There we go. And look at that. She's all done. And then we'll find my layering piece for that is 1 7/8 by 3 7/8. So it's just like that 1/8 of an inch bigger. And I am going to put some dimensionals on this layer. I think I need a new sheet of dimensionals. Don't let any of your dimensional sheets go to waste. Trim them up and use them all. Go. I really like this set. I like the one with the presents. So you could do those. They could either, again, be a stand-up card or a folding card. Okay, let's put this here. And then I am going to glue this straight down. And somebody gave me some wisdom a couple months ago. I hadn't even really thought about it. I was always just sort of eyeballing and putting it down. But lining the edge up with the point here so everything stays in line. All right, here we go. I'm going to bring that in there and put that down. And then on the inside, I really was tempted to cut my stamps apart, but I did not. I held off because I thought sending love and warming thoughts to you this season would have been nice, or just sending love and warming thoughts to you. Now, you could work with those and stamp those together, but I thought, okay, if I want to send this to somebody or friend this time, I'm going to pull in this in your words. It is a celebration hostess gift. So you have to have a party or get enough orders to get up to a certain dollar amount to order this one. But I love it because it has such fun stuff on it. I'm going to stamp on the inside of my card, hope your day is fantabulous, fabulous and fantastic all in one. So that is the stamp set I loaded And let's test this one to make sure we're good. And I know I just had, there we go. Oh my goodness, I make such a mess. I'm a messy crafter, but I do clean up well. Oh. Let's try that again. First time it's been used. Okay, I think we're good to go. Let's bring this in. Now, I didn't have to use the stamping pad this time because this is a cling, and so it has that built-in cushion right in the stamp. Yes, Linda, I do have so much, too much fun doing this. You are absolutely right. All right. Let me glue this one in. There we go. All right, and then to decorate this one, I'm going to bring in some of my in-color gems that have flown everywhere. And I'm going to use the soft succulent. And pop one down in the corner. And there we go. Shove all that out of the way. I'll clean it up later. So here we go this evening. We had the fall version. Thank you, Debbie. I don't know that I've seen you in here before, so thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. I am always grateful when anybody joins me. I do love doing this, and for me, it is so much fun. So you know that the ones that come here quite often, I really do appreciate you taking time to join me. And I hope that it inspires you to do something. So these are the ones we did tonight and the stamp sets I used. But what I want to talk about now is a September class. We did one in June, and the class was a stamp set with a punch. And then making 10 cards. Thanks, Linda. I appreciate that. So we're going to do this again in September, only this time we're doing Christmas cards. So the stamp set is Peaceful Deer, and the punch is the Deer Builder punch. I think this is so cute. It's got some cute sayings on it, and oh, what fun is in the deer. This is in the new holiday catalog. Of course, the prices will be the same as last time, right? An in-person class, you come, you'll receive the stamp set, the punch, and the kits to make 10 cards that I will design. And those will be all kitted for you, so you can make those. And when you're in my house to do those, you use my inks, my tools, you bring your own adhesive. Or you can get the class to go, and I will mail it. It'll have the stamp set, the punch, all of the consumable papers. So the same card kits, you'll just have to use your own tools and inks when you receive the kit to put them together. It also comes with a full tutorial. If you're in person in class, I print them out and have them here for you. For those that I ship, I email so that you can print out your own tutorial. Bill, what were the dates we're looking at? The 11th and 12th? So this will be the 11th and 12th. Either a Saturday or Sunday's open to do these at my house in September. Registration is open immediately. More information will go out in the newsletter tomorrow. All registration has to be in by the 13th of August, so I can order the stamp sets and all the supplies that I need. And the cost is $55 for in-person class, $60 to ship it. And then one other little thing to those people, to my first 5 people that register and pay for the class, they'll get an extra little thing in their kit. They will get this is the Peaceful Prince. This is a celebration item that matches this deer bundle. These are the papers in it. So for the first 5 people that register, they will get a 6x6 paper pad in their kits as a thank you. So that's gonna be either September the 11th or September 12th. So you can email me, you can message me, and then, like I said, those first 4 people that register and pay for the class, then when their kit is either shipped or they come to class, they will get an extra pack of paper in their kit. So I think that's everything for this evening. There is a new hostess code for August that's available now. Remember that the new catalog goes on sale next week. If you have any questions, reach out and let me know. I'd be happy to help you. Well, thank you, Deborah. I'm glad that you will be there. You're my first one. So I'll make sure that you get a paper pad in your kit, because I know Deborah's my neighbor. So that'll work out well. All right, everybody. Again, thank you so very much. I always enjoy spending time with you, and we'll be back next week, I think, again. So thank you. See you soon. Bye-bye.